It's time to go back to school on back training. We're going to cover today the 5 biggest blunders that you can make when you're training your back, and make sure that you don't make them so you can get the most out of your workout the next time you hit the gym. What's up everybody? Jeff Cavalier, AthleanX.com, here in the gym to cover what I think are the 5 biggest blunders when it comes to training your back. If you haven't already seen the tricep series that we covered, the 7 sins of tricep training, this is going to be a very similar approach. I hope that you can benefit from, because I think it's covering a lot of things that you might be overlooking. Now, if you notice, I've got a new attire here. This is going to match my AthleanX uniform. It's just I actually broke a pinky, and I'm going to have to wear this for the next 6 weeks. So if you see this, you know that we're still recovering. First and foremost, for our back, we want to cover a principle that I think people overlook. Yes, it's a huge muscle group, but what you want to do is you want to kind of train zones. And one of the zones I feel people overlook is the upper back. And that ties into the traps. And people always write in, I want Tom Hardy traps or Brock Lesnar type traps. It's going to come from not just doing shrugs, guys, but incorporating upper back training into what you do for your back. So what I've done here is set up a pulley, which, don't freak out, you can do it with bands. You just got to hook your bands around anything stable that's not going to move. Put them around knee height or thigh height, and then you're going to back up. Okay? I'm going to talk about this posture in point 3 here, because you're going to see I've already addressed that and how important that becomes, but you set your back, your arms can come out in front of you, and then you're going to pull straight back. Okay? So by having this angle of pull here, and this lean forward, I can now target way up on the upper back as if I'm almost doing an inverted pull down. Okay? So squeezing it through here, back. Okay, so want to make sure that when you're training your back, you're hitting it from different angles so that you cover and attack the large areas of this large muscle group. Now, moving on from the upper back, we always have to sort of train the low back. In the AthleanX program, we have our reverse hyperextensions using a physio ball. Well, we can also kind of take that to another level as well by putting yourself into a position to do a hyperextension exercise, right? So all you have to do is anchor your feet under anything stable, okay? Get yourself in position over the top of a ball so that you can do a hyperextension and target that low back area. What we can do to make it even more intense is I'll grab one of the Athlean Elastics bands, wrap it once. As I come up, I pull apart. Okay? Come down, let it go. Up, pull apart, down. Okay? So again, we're always tying in upper and lower back. The same way we did on the last exercise, even though I was targeting the upper back by setting my low back the way I did, we're working the low back too. So AthleanX training is always about integrating muscle groups to work together, all right, the way that they prefer to work. But you want to make sure that you're never leaving any part out. So another major point, hit that low back every time you're training your back. Okay, so back to our next point, our third point about setting the back. I alluded to it in both the first and second points we already covered, and that is when you're going to do any exercise. I don't care if it's squatting, if it's deadlifting, if it's rowing. In this case, the example that we showed in the beginning of the video, you always want to start by setting your back first. We covered this in a video once before on how to improve your strength in every lift, and it's by making the simple adjustment, posture and setting the low back. So from here, I stick the butt out, all right at the camera, and as far back as I can go, I want to get my pelvis to tilt that way. Once I do that, you can already see the low back is engaged. That sets the stage for me to now push or pull with authority. right? If I'm moving my low back on every rep, right, swaying and moving, I'm getting a lot of dispersion of force through my whole body because it's kind of waving, right? It's not ever stable. When I lock the back in place, now we can push off of a stable platform. If you had to think of it another way, if someone's going to test your vertical jump and you had a chance to jump off of either a solid ground or jump off of a canoe, how high do you think you'd jump off of the ground versus the canoe? I can tell you, you would not jump high off the canoe because as soon as you tried to put force into the canoe, it would rock and give way and you wouldn't be able to push off of it with any authority. It's the same exact concept here. You have to set this so that you can then lift and pull with authority. Guys, set the back to set the stage for better back growth on every exercise that you do. Next up, over here at a pull-up bar, or this is just a Smith machine that we're going to use as a pull-up bar, but the idea is one that I've covered before, and it's about how you do your pull-ups, and more specifically, what type of grip are you using. When I do pull-ups, and when I advise guys who want to get the most out of their back development as opposed to sort of working too much of their forearms or grip, is to use a false grip or to use an open grip. So we're really just looking at using our hands as hooks. So I actually have less fingers over here. I think it's perfect to use this hand for this. I can actually do these pull-ups with 2 fingers. You just hook 2 here and 2 here, and you come up, you can do pull-ups. It's not very difficult. You can probably even do it with 1, although I don't want to try that because I don't have many good fingers left. But the idea is you're not using your hands at all to do it. What happens is when you use your false grip, you're now allowing your elbows to do the work. Okay, I'm thinking about my elbow pulling down closer to my sides. So from here, pulling it down. Here, pulling it down. Okay, the advantage here is that I'm not involving the forearm. Okay, if I start doing this and grabbing the bar, now I start pulling with my forearm. A lot of guys can actually start to feel elbow pain by doing that. You can eliminate that pain and the likelihood to get that pain while also getting more out of your back workouts by switching to the false grip. Alright, last but not least, this is one of the ones that I think people overlook all of the time. It's extremely important. It has nothing to do with a single exercise, but again, how you're performing the exercise. And it's about contraction versus momentum. Especially when you're doing pulling exercises, the tendency is to let momentum do all the work. And I'll tell you why in a second here as I demonstrate. When I do a pulling exercise, if I let momentum get involved, it's very easy for me to lean back and pull, and lean back and pull, because I have the ability to generate momentum with pulling. Think of a bench press. It's hard to generate a lot of momentum because you're already pinned up underneath the bench, or on the bench, and you're trying to push away, but you can't really get a lot of momentum when you push, okay? No matter what exercise it is when you're pushing. Most of the time it's very easy though, even on a bicep curl, get a lot of momentum when you're pulling. So particularly on your biceps and back training, you want to make sure you eliminate the momentum and you let the muscle actually do the work. So I don't care if you're doing a lat pull down, what you should do is let the muscle contract, and then obviously that eccentric control on the way back. But let the muscle do the work and not the momentum. When I do this, I think I'm training my back, but I'm taking a lot of the effort out. And what it really matters, guys, when it comes down to all of it, is what that muscle is feeling during those 45 seconds or so that you're training it. Not what number you got to or how long, how you got there. A lot of times guys will say, oh God, I got there, it didn't even feel that hard. If it didn't feel that hard, you weren't contracting it consciously enough to get anything out of the exercise. So guys, this is what Athlete X training is about. It's about doing things right. Again, sometimes the shortcuts will get you to the end of your workout faster, or you think you're getting more out of it. If you're taking the shortcuts, you're getting less out of your training and obviously less results. We don't do it that way. We do it here at Athlete X by doing things right and hopefully most effective in the shortest amount of time possible. Guys, if you haven't already, come on board Team Athlete. and grab the 90-day training program and try it out for yourself. See what principles like this can do to unleash your results, whether it be on back training, tricep training, or anything else. I'll see you guys back here in 7 days.